There are many apps and programs out there that are using asynchronous code, so it is crucial to know how it works and how it applies to a project, which is what I'm going to talk about today, so let's go. Imagine you are making a classic PB&J sandwich. Step 1, you get the bread. Step 2, you spread the peanut butter. Step 3, you add the jam. And step 4, only after finishing, you move on to the drink. In synchronous programming, each step must finish before moving to the next. If spreading peanut butter takes 5 minutes, you just stand there waiting before spreading the jam. Now, imagine instead of doing it all yourself, you ask a friend to get a bread while you start preparing the peanut butter. Then someone else grabs the jam at the same time. Then lastly, everyone works simultaneously and you just put it all together at the end. In asynchronous programming, tasks happens at the same time, and you keep moving without waiting for each one to finish. If something takes longer, it will notify you when it's done. For example, some common uses of async function are fetching data, handling APIs, file uploads, or timers, where this takes time to finish. Instead of waiting for these tasks to finish, the program can move on and do other things first. Then when the task is finished, it checks back and handles the result. When it's ready, the program can use the response to do something else, like uploading the UI or logging the data. That's the point of callbacks, promises, and async await. But for this video, I will skip the callbacks because promises and async await are more commonly used in the real world. A promise represents a value that will be available in the future. Imagine you promise a friend cookies. They either resolve when they get the cookies or reject if something goes wrong. In terms of code, this is what it will look like. This is basically like English grammar. The user will fetch this API route. When successful, it will then send a response in the JSON format and catch any errors. If there is, produce the error in the console. The fetch is the promise, the response is the resolve, and the error is the reject. Very simple, very nice. Async await is like telling a program, wait here while I get the data. Imagine you're cooking multiple dishes. You put water to boil, but you don't wait around for it. You start chopping vegetables and check back when it's done. Putting water to boil is like fetching the data, and then chopping the vegetable is like another task that it can be doing. Async functions basically allows you to juggle tasks efficiently. In code form, it looks something like this. Async and await comes in a pair. One can't work without the other. Async is in the context, while the await is within the context. Async is to make the whole function asynchronous, then you can add a wait inside the context to make it look synchronous, so that you can operate other codes first while waiting for the function that takes time to complete. In this example, the response from fetching the data from this API route is stored in the variable response, but the process of fetching takes time. So await is there so that you can pause the function execution until the fetch operation completes. This ensures that we don't move on to the next step before the data is ready. In the next step, await is used again to convert the response into JSON. Notice how this actually makes the code more synchronous, where the program goes step by step instead of all together. You may be asking, what is the problem if I don't await? Response will not be contained in the actual fetch data. It will be a pending promise, which is not immediately usable. Since response hasn't completed fetching, data will be a promise rather than the actual data object, and you will run into issues when you try to use it in your code. If there is an error, the try bot will still handle it. You might also be wondering, why just don't make the function asynchronous? Good question. Asynchronous function don't block the entire program, whereas synchronous function does. What do I mean? Imagine a situation where the fetching data from the API takes 5 seconds. Without async function, you will block the program from the fetching line to the end of the program, making your app unresponsive. So making the function async can allow the program to run the things at the bottom to finish while waiting for the function that takes time to finish also. For example, step 1 and step 4 will log immediately without waiting for the fetch to complete. The fetch data function pauses only inside when it hits await fetch. While fetch data is paused, the program continues with step 4. Once fetch is completed, step 3 will be logged. So yeah, this is how async function works. Anyways, just my opinion. Bye.